Good morning. Happy Sunday, everybody. And happy Mother's Day. So welcome to our meditation portion of our service. So I just invite everyone to get settled in. And let us all take a nice, deep, unifying breath together. And one more time. Just letting go of everything that has come before this moment. All the hustle and bustle of getting here. All the past events. Just letting him go for a few moments. As we come together in the stillness. Setting the intention to drop out of our minds and down into our hearts, down into our solar plexus even. And just allowing ourselves just to be. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just being here now. Fully present to the presence. This presence of life that is always here now. And in this time, we get to journey back home. We spend so much time as humans in the outer world. Let's take this time right here, right now, to explore the inner worlds. And just allowing whatever might come up in the mind to just be. Like clouds in the sky, just let the thoughts flow by. And as we journey down into the heart, I like to think of it as flinging open the shutters of my heart. Letting the sunshine in. And becoming one with the outside. Inviting it inside. For in truth, there is no inner and outer. It is all one field of love energy. Expressing, expanding, knowing and being itself. So as we drop into the heart, opening those shutters, inviting the light in, we allow our love to express out. Melding with our neighbors. For we truly are one in this field of love energy. So we just let that energy rise, fill our body temples, breathe it in and breathe it out. And today, as it is Mother's Day, let us honor the divine feminine energy. And whether you're male or female, we all have that spark of the Divine Mother within us. We were all born from this energy. For every living thing was born from life itself. Each one of us, if we go back to the very beginning, everything has come from the womb of creation, the Divine Mother energy. So we just honor this energy today within us. And spending a few moments in the stillness, just loving that mothering energy within us, connecting with that spirit of the divine feminine. Just allowing that nurturing love energy to saturate and permeate our consciousness. With each breath, breathing in that mother love and sending it out. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just being in love. ever so slowly and gently, allow your awareness to come back to the place where you're sitting, noticing the support under you from your chair. Becoming aware of your neighbors next to you. And allowing gratitude to well up in your heart. Grateful for this time together in the stillness. Grateful for the divine feminine energy that nurtures us, that brought us into the world. Gratitude for our own mothers, whether it be biological or someone that is mother to into this life. And in gratitude for this time together, blessing this Sunday celebration and all the events of this day, blessing all of the mothers, all of the celebrations, all of the love that is being expressed today. So grateful, grateful, grateful. And whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes, wiggle your toes and your fingers. Namaste. Service will begin at 10:30. So you can hang out in here or go mingle in the lobby and give a mom a hug. Thank you.
Well, good morning, world. I guess we can say that safely. We're coming to you from the Center for Spiritual Living in Cape Coral, Florida, and welcome wherever you are. And right now, we're going to start things off with some magnificent music from the Big Love Band.
Good morning.
Good morning. Who was with us last night? We got a couple. We got a couple. All right. Well, we're going to do a couple songs from last night for those of you that weren't there to give you a little taste so you can regret not being there.
So if you think you've heard it, you have.
And then we've got a very beautiful, nice Mother's Day song. So hello, mothers, and welcome. So stand, and you're going to keep standing per what the song says. Right?
Yeah.
Like that consciousness, shall we say, that I'm still standing. Yes, indeedy. And welcome to you. I'm John Coriel. I'm one of the licensed Science of Mind practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Cape Coral, Florida, and it's good to have you along for this morning. Our thanks, too, to Linda Lloyd, who you may have seen over here on the side. She, having her eyes closed, is in a consciousness of meditation and just holding the high watch, as we call it, for our service today, and just knowing that everything is in perfect divine right order and working out really, really well. And really, really well, too, right now, has another wonderful song from the Big Love Band. Let's bring him back.
All right, so we're going to do B.O.B.'s version. Walking in Sunshine.
Oh, it does feel good. Yes, 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 yes. And please stand as we welcome and bestow this blessing on each other. Right now, it's time to say, blessing to you. Follow, if you will, with the words, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We know who you truly are. You are the spiritual image and likeness of God. We appreciate you. We love you. And we are thankful you are here. Welcome, welcome to the center. Oh, my. And here is a Carole King song. Sounds good.
Well, I think this is a beautiful song for today, Mother's Day. Now, some of you may or may not know, but my mother, Malika, who's over here, I think you all know her as a practitioner, and she's going through ministerial school. So I don't know if you guys can relate, but you go through your youth phases of a toddler into preteen and then teenager and a young adult, which I think teenager and young adult is probably about the same thing. and then you go through college, and there's probably a point in time when you're like, I don't really like my mom, right? I think all of us might have felt that, whether your mom or your grandmother, your aunt, whoever who was that spiritual person in your life. And I think she could probably attest that there were times that her and I butt heads all the time. But at the end of the day, after especially going through college, she became one of my best friends. And now that I moved back from South Carolina about 4-ish years ago, I make a point to try to see her and visit her every week. And it's weird because when you think back, I'm like, why was I so mean when I was young? Gosh. But I think I needed that journey, right? So I think we all love this song, and I think moms, grandmas, aunts, even friends who are that mother figure for whatever point, and even the people that came and passed through your life, probably would express this type of song. Call on me if you need that friend, right? So hopefully you enjoy, and please sing along, of course. When you're down in trouble and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right, close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call that you've got a friend when people can be so cold. They'll hurt you and desert you. They'll take your soul if you let them, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend.
You've got a friend.
You've got a friend.
Said you got a friend.
You've got a friend.
You're my friend.
You've got a friend. You've got a friend.
Oh, nicely done. Cassie and the Big Love Band. You got a friend. I always think of James Taylor sometimes when I hear that song, as he and Carole King have always done a lot of duets together. One of my favorites. And I want to let the kids know now we have a wonderful kids program, and they can now leave and head to the back area and enjoy there. Lots going on. And I want to bring up our next person who's going to do a little reading and a little prayer for us this morning. Practitioner that she is. Here is Elida Renero.
Good morning, my beloveds. Oh, my God. Oh, a blessed, blessed Mother's Day to the mother within you, that God the mother up within you. As you know, this month we are on that journey of living within the shadows. This is the whole yearly theme of living out loud. It's got us from that place of vulnerability last month to living in the shadows. So the topic entitled this week is the unlearning fear of darkness. And I just want to read a little bit from what they sent us from the Science of Mind, from the Center for Spiritual Living. Humans have a tendency to fear the unknown, and that which we don't understand, we label, dominate, control, and cast negativity on these spaces as dark and ominous. The Divine Mother Principle embodies fertility and creativity in the darkness and gives birth from the darkness into the light in partnership with both. I know. I have a reading today from, actually it's from June 2016, from Reverend Joanne McFadden. And it's entitled, The Good in the Bad. So a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson: good and bad are but names very readily transferable to that or this. And from the Science of Mind text, page 187, it says, we may pass through good fortune and bad, but if we can come to the point where we are not disturbed by things, we have found the secret. Oh man, I know I yearn for that secret every single day. So the reading underneath those two quotes is, the venom of the death stalker scorpion causes extreme pain, convulsions, and sometimes even paralysis, or death from heart or respiratory failure. This scorpion is definitely a bad thing. Or is it? Interestingly, Jim Olson, MD, and a team of researchers found a very good reason to deem this dangerous creature good. They discovered that the chloral toxin derived from the scorpion's venom has life-saving potential. The chloral toxin attaches to proteins on cancer cells and makes them glow. When paint derived from the venom is injected into the cancer patients, it allows surgeons to spot cancerous tissue during surgery and to distinguish it from non-cancerous tissue. It is easy to judge something as bad. However, what we miss when we do that is the opportunity to find the good in it. Science of Mind Core Concept 5 states that the whole encompasses seeming opposites, and that the same principle that brings us freedom, prosperity, and joy also allows us to experience bondage, lack, or misery. The choice is up to us. We can choose to view this scorpion as a bad thing, or we can see its potential for good. So it is with anything in our lives. We can look at what we think is a bad situation and commiserate in it, or we can look at a situation and ask ourselves, what good is there? The first option keeps us in bondage, and the second liberates us. Liberty, right? And choice, the power of both. So, with these words and this understanding that there is no good or bad, I think that was a freedom for me to understand that I could let go of labels and let go of the understanding that there is such thing as bad. So now, let's just take this moment and take this reading into our hearts as we stand tall and holding the light. This is our time for holding someone or a situation in the light. For this month, we are celebrating the light in the shadow. So please bring into your mind and heart the person or situation as we just take a few moments of silence to just hold them in this space and in this time and in the here and now. So with the understanding that there is only one power and one presence, that first cause, intelligence, that universal knowing, that power that is everywhere present, we know that it is here right now because we are here, and it lives inside of each and every one of us. It is that power that embraces us and loves us with its goodness, the goodness that is everywhere present. We see it in the sky, we see it in the earth, we see it in each other, and we hold that power in every single thing, that no matter what it looks like, no matter what it sounds like, it is all good because it is all God. It is that power that is always lifting us up into the understanding that we are all one, that we are all connected, that there is nothing, absolutely nothing to fear that as we stand tall, knowing and embracing the journey that we are on, we accept it all. We stay awakened and we embrace it with a delicious understanding that there is a power that knows what it knows. So we just let it go, surrender it all, embrace everything in the here and now. Know that it is done with the understanding that there's absolutely nothing to be healed, only that truth to understand and to know that it is all good because it is all God. So we say yes to it all with an open heart, filled with appreciation and gratitude, as we allow these words and this prayer to float into that nothingness of which they've come through me, as me. Feel it as the light that shines upon everyone and everything. And together we just say, and so it is, and so it is. Amen. So together we're in for a treat today as we embrace and show some love to Reverend Denise Schubert, who is an ordained religious science minister with a master's degree obtained in 2003 from Holmes Institute under the leadership of Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. During her 20 years of ministry, she has served the Agape International Spiritual Center, North Hollywood Church of Religious Science, Center for Conscious Living in Northwest Arkansas, the Bodhi Spiritual Center in Chicago, and most recently 8 years as the spiritual director of the Triangle Center of Spiritual Living in Raleigh, North Carolina. Denise has spent the past 20 years synthesizing the spiritual principles and practices of New Thought, ancient wisdom, faith traditions, strategies for success gleaned from her 30 years as a technology executive in California and her 50-year relationship with the principles of the Landmark Forum. Her purpose in ministry is the awakening of individuals to a more powerful and authentic life grounded in the awareness of our inherent divinity and connection to God. Reverend Denise calls herself a difference maker in the activation of human potential so that we may join each other in the consciousness creation of the world that works for all. So now, with further ado, I will introduce to you Reverend Denise Schubert.
Thank you. Thank you. I definitely have to make that shorter. It was way too long. Good morning. It is so good to be here with you. I look out here and I see some old friends and certainly some new friends, so just wonderful. I don't think I need that. Wonderful to be here with you. Happy Mother's Day. We do come here to celebrate all of those who have actually given birth to children. We're doing much more here than that, though, as you know. But before we start, I'd like to start off talks a little bit with humor, because I find that if I make people laugh, they listen better. So there were two children. Amy and John were 9 and 12, and on Mother's Day, they told their mother to stay in bed, that she didn't have to get up. So Mom is in bed, smelling the wafting bacon and the cinnamon rolls in the oven, and she's so excited, but she's actually in bed for a really long time and gets really, anxious. So she walks downstairs, and there are her children eating breakfast, and they look at her and they say, "Hi, happy Mother's Day, Mom, you don't have to cook for us today." I have another one. You want the other one? Yeah. So John was in a single man looking to settle down and get married, and he had his girlfriend, Julie, but his mother just did not like Julie. His mother didn't like any girl he brought home. So he was talking to a friend of his who said, well, maybe you need to find somebody like your mother. Find somebody who's more like your mother, and then she'll be more amenable to your being with her. And so he did. He went out and found somebody who looked a little bit like his mother and acted a little bit like his mother, and took her home for dinner. And after the next day, his friend says, well, how did it go? How did your friends like the new girlfriend? And she goes, well, my mother loved her, but my father couldn't stand her. All right, so we are not merely by the way, my talk title is not whatever you said. My talk title today is really The Divine Feminine is Not a Gender. And really even more, you can say God is not a gender. And it will serve us to talk about that because, as you will see, I have a slant in ministry. My slant in ministry is practical spirituality. I want you to leave here always knowing something you didn't know before you came in, which eminently proves useful to you as you live your everyday lives. And so my talk today is really about what Ernest Holmes called the creative process, which is the way things come into being. And the way things come into being requires both the divine masculine and the divine feminine, which are not genders, they're energies. Now, the divine feminine, or the universal feminine, is the seat of unconditional love. So when we celebrate Mother's Day, we're actually celebrating unconditional love. And we're actually celebrating everyone because there are fathers who mother, there are mothers who mother, and grandmothers who mother, and uncles who mother, and big brothers who mother. So in the process of bringing through the feminine qualities of nurturing and unconditional love, there are people who mother the earth. So we're actually celebrating today and honoring today that which is within each and every one of us, men or women. It's so interesting. I think, human beings evolve. We used to, climb around with a club and whatever, eat nuts and berries. And in the past 150 years, 200 years, we actually now have given rise to cell phones, computers, airplanes, telephones, all of this in really the last 200 years. So we are definitely evolving beings. And I think young people now, this whole thing of non-gender association is so right on that they are catching something in consciousness that is beyond our physicality, that somehow within them lives the presence of both, which is true also for you. Now, the divine feminine, divine masculine is not a gender. It is an energy. God is not, it's very important in these rooms because New Thought teachings are also presencing a new understanding and a new idea about God. God as a man with a beard in a cloud is no longer functional as a way of living life on this earth. It's not that it's bad, because bad and good are labels we give to something, but we are evolving as human beings to understand that there is a power and a presence that is not a man or a woman somewhere. It is so ineffable, so mysterious, so pervasive, so in every aspect of our universe. And we want to understand it more. We want to understand that. We also teach here that you and I are made in the image and likeness of God, which is a whole new idea. So there isn't God and us. God all-powerful, us all puny. God all judgmental and us cowering. I find it to be a horrifying idea that our time here on this earth is to suffer so that we can have a great time after we die. I just find that Isn't that just a ridiculous idea? And those ideas are not useful because they lead us to fear, they lead us to lack, and they lead us to suffering, they lead us to violence. And I don't know about you, but I've been doing so much work this year to neutralize the violence in this world. Because it's a little in your face, yes? It is a little in your face. So, so I want to give you a gift today. So I want you to pay really close attention because it can change you. And I know that not because I'm so smart, but because the knowledge, I remember I was 45 years old, which was 22 years ago. Don't do the math. It's not important. I was 45 years old when I walked into a church like this, the Agape International Spiritual Center, and I heard this talk, or something very close to it, and it changed my life. And it changed my life because it put me in the driver's seat of my life. In an instant, it changed me from being blown about my life by the wind, or the next relationship, or the next job, or the next drama. I was a little bit of a drama queen. I wouldn't have said that, but I'm pretty sure my mother would have. But it gave me the power, listen, life, who gave your mother's instruction booklets? Who gave you instruction booklets? Nobody, there is an instruction booklet. There is. Nobody ever gave it to us. Nobody ever told us. But here, I'm going to give it to you today. That's why when you have to pay attention. I'm going to give you the instruction booklet. Here are some other people who knew about, there are people who know, there are people who have it. In the olden days, not that long ago, because we haven't been here that long, there were secret societies where the teachings would be passed along, but never given to the masses because Lord knows what you and I will do once we know how life works. Change your thinking, change your life. Who said that? Ernest Holmes. Who said, it is done unto you as you believe? Who said, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind? Ooh, you guys are so good. Who said, man is but the product of his thoughts, what he thinks he becomes? Mahatma Gandhi. Other people have said something very similar, though. I do not fix problems, I fix my thinking, then the problems just disappear. Louise Hay. Oprah Winfrey said, the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change her future by merely changing her attitude. So this is part of the instruction manual. Are you ready? You should be excited. How many of you have children at home still? Not very many. We do live in a, I don't know what to call it really. I won't call it anything. But if you have children at home, wouldn't it have been great? Wouldn't it have been great? I mean, my parents are wonderful, but I wouldn't call them enlightened, awakened beings. And I wouldn't have called them people who knew what the daunting task was of bringing a unique and individualized expression of God into this universe and ushering it into its maturity so that it can give its spiritual gifts. Those were not my parents. But could you imagine what life would be like if our parents didn't know that? So, but now you will know this. So I'm going to give you this gift today. We're going to explore what is called the creative process. How many of you have done the foundations class here at Centers for Spiritual Living? Great. So those who have taken this class have studied this, yes? Those of you who have not, you're going to study it today. You're going to get today, in 15 minutes, what will take you 10 to 13 weeks in the foundations class. That doesn't mean you should not do the foundations class, because it will allow you to embody it in such a way that it becomes second nature. but nonetheless, we can start here with this. So my friend back there is going to pull up the first symbol, and we're going to start with that because it's going to explain, it's going to help me to talk about the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Do not let your eyes roll back at your head at this point. This is not a college class. This is fun. So, how many of you have never seen this before? All right. So this is called this religious science teaching symbol. It is how the whole thing, by the way, is just a way of looking at God. So God is all of this. So spirit, soul, body. 3 different aspects of the same thing. And when we talk about this, this is 3 different aspects about you as well, that you, remember, you are made in the image and likeness of whatever this thing is we're talking about. We are the only creatures on this earth, the only beings who have choice, the only beings who think, the only beings who plan, who imagine. Everything's made out of the same stuff with a different configuration, but tigers and rocks aren't like us. We're not like them. We are unique. So spirit is the masculine energy. By the way, not because I say so, I'm actually giving you Ernest Holmes here. So the masculine energy lives in spirit. Now there's an analogy here that will make it more understandable, and I'm going to give you another one in a minute that I've been so inspired by recently. But seed, soil, plant is an analogy we use all the time to explain spirit, soul, body. So the spirit of God and the spirit of you are the aspects of us that are conscious seed planters. Therefore, Ernest Holmes categorized it as masculine. The masculine energy, you all know, is assertive, active, doing, determined, decisive, willful. It's a seed of imagination, daydreaming, visioning, declarations. It is the make something happen energy, which is in women, all women too. Women have this same energy. And by the way, you can make this very personal, and should make it very personal, because you could be in a man's body, but have a lot of feminine energy and not so much masculine energy, or you can be in a woman's body and have more masculine energy than feminine energy. And it is very important that we balance these, because the balance between masculine and feminine is what's creative. So whatever life is for you, whatever life is in the world, whatever the stuff is, comes from a balance of those energies. So the soul is a very, I'm going to come back to this more, but spirit. So the spirit, soul. Soul's a funny word here. I had to get used to using that word in Science and Mind because there are different interpretations of the word soul. But soul, as explained here, means the soil, the creative medium. It is the divine feminine. Ernest Holmes used to call it the holy womb of creation. Because whatever seed gets planted into the soil, whatever seed gets planted into the soul, there are some building blocks in life, in the universe, atoms, molecules, oxygen, nitrogen, whatever makes things goes about the business of clothing that seed an exact duplicate of whatever was planted. So I'm going to make this really easy. If a carrot seed is planted into the soil, what must manifest, what must show up in the body of the universe? A carrot, right? Tomato seed produces. There is nothing in this creative medium that can decide that it doesn't feel like growing a carrot today. There's no choice in there. There's no Oh, I'm having a really crappy day. I think I'll grow an orange tree instead. Carrot, seed, carrot. All the pieces come together. This is really miraculous, carrot. God had an idea of you, and all these things come together, and then there's you. Right? The seed gets planted for peace, and all these things come together, and there's peace. So this middle part, this soul part, I'm going to keep it a little simple because I'm pretty sure I don't have 4 hours, right? Yeah, so I have like 20 minutes. I'm giving the entire instruction booklet of life in 20 minutes, maybe 25 if I'm really entertaining. I'll keep watching to see if it's like. In this middle section is not only the process itself of manifestation of the Bible says God peopled the universe through contemplation. In the beginning was the Word. Same with you. In the beginning was our Word. What seeds are we going to plant today? What do we want in our life? Do we want seeds of abundance or seeds of lack? Seeds of happiness or seeds of sorrow? And I'm not simplifying this very much. It doesn't mean we don't have to adjust and change, but it's pretty straightforward. In my world, I am called a master manifester. Master manifester. Do you know why? I believe this. Right? And I work it. In this middle part, there are two things. One is the substance of the entire universe. All of the materials that are needed to make anything are in there. Before human beings discovered how to make fire, or discovered gravity, or discovered how to build a building, or build an airplane, or make a computer, all that was already in there. What's it waiting for? What caused it? What caused the airplane to end up in the body, right, spirit, soul, body, by somebody having a thought? Somebody thinking into this substance. Are you with me? Is it making sense? Yes. So the instruction book really has to do with coming to understand. I want this to kind of like spiritual awakening or enlightenment, or is a light switch, by the way. In you is a switch that when someone says the right thing, or you read the right thing, or the switch gets flipped, and all of a sudden you realize that you are more than you ever thought you were. That you're not even your body. Your body is an expression, a manifestation of life. You are eternal. You can no more die than God can die. You are eternal, but you are in this body. So when you plant seeds, you as the master, I'm going to call it a conscious seed planter, because by the way, this creative process works all the time. It never is not working. It's exactly like gravity. Does gravity only work for good people? Yes or no? Does gravity care where you were born? Right. So there's a saying that all these principles and laws work for each equally. It's the same for saints and sinners. You are the cause of it working. So you can either work it consciously, or you can work it unconsciously. I guess I will have to complicate this a little bit. In the seat, in the soul, in addition to the substance and the process, also lives all memory. Your memory, individual memory, everyone's memory for all time. So I want to keep this as simple as I can. So if someone said to you when you were 6 years old, you're not creative, or you're not as smart as your sister, or you'll never amount to anything. And I know our enlightened parents did say things like this to us. I don't know why. And you believed it. that got planted into your subconscious unconscious. This little idea that I won't amount to anything, that you are not aware of, by the way. People don't walk around saying, oh, I won't amount to anything. People just have all the evidence they don't amount to anything. Oh, switch. There's a switch, right? Because if in your memory, if in your subconscious lives, I won't amount to anything, what can you manifest in the body of your world? Not amounting to anything. Because carrot seed, process, carrot. So don't worry about too much what's in your subconscious, unconscious. Don't worry too much about what you've manifested so far in your life up till today, because I'm giving you the instruction book. You get to now start planting seeds of I amount to everything. I'm worthy of everything. God wants good for me. I'm abundant. I mean, these are not, I mean, you hear these every week and you think, oh, these people are so friggin' positive. They have no idea what I'm going through, right? How can you say that? Look at the terrible mess the world's in. Well, the manifested universe is a crude and temporary representation of consciousness. Temporary because it's only there because we've thought it. Only there because, listen, the world doesn't have more love than peace yet, or more love than hate, because there's too much, first of all, there's too much nonsense in the memory, and people are still planting seeds of hate. That's why we're here. Because we are charged with understanding how it works and then working it differently. So, slide number 2 is my inspiration. So, I am so in love with MasterChef right now. Do you guys know this show? I was watching MasterChef thinking it was on last year. I'm on season 2012, so I've been watching Gordon Ramsay now for 3 weeks. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's a cooking competition. And I was so inspired because it is the creative process. So you have this master chef, right? So you have the master chef. Then in the middle part, in the show they have this pantry, and in this pantry is everything you could possibly want. Onions, garlic, sauces. I mean, it is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Every ingredient that could possibly go into every dish you cook is in this pantry. And then, of course, you have the cake. The pantry, I'm sorry, it makes me so happy. The pantry, and I'm kind of a cook too, so the pantry is useless without the master chef. Do you get it? Like the master chef lies dormant, really, until somebody somewhere puts on that hat and designs a dish using those ingredients. And only by that happening does that cake get baked. So it's exactly the same. I'm not simplifying the way it works. It actually works exactly this way. It is really, really simple. Now, you might have to practice, because if you, like me, live for 45 years, predominantly in fear, lack, and limitation, predominantly in not enoughness, predominantly in God is powerful, I am weak, predominantly in, oh, I can't do much because I don't have a college education, or I can't really have a good relationship because my parents got divorced. If you are living in those places for a long period of your life, it may take a minute to begin to slowly but surely, with commitment, dedication, will, determination, change your thinking. And I want to suggest to you that you can ignore whatever's in your subconscious, unconscious. Ignore it. Because the more attention you make to it, you just reinforce it, and nothing really changes too much. But you can become a conscious seed planter. Conscious. Some people, Dr. Michael Beckwith taught this beautiful teaching about you can either in life be pushed by pain. Has anybody else been pushed by pain? Of course. Or pulled by vision. Our awakening is guaranteed. It's part, I believe, of the divine intention that we come to know who we really are. And one of the ways we come to know who we really are is through pain. It's the most common way human beings come to know who they really are, is through loss, through death, through illness, through diagnosis, through hurricanes, through whatever. But there's another way, which is to be pulled by vision. Being pulled by vision is to become a conscious seed planter, to say what I want in my life is financial stability, and then to do the work at the level of head chef, of shifting what you think about financial money. I had somebody say to me the other day, in all seriousness, well, money's the root of all evil. It's like, not in my life. Do you understand? Not in my life. Probably is in their life. So you can today, in fact, I would just invite you to set any belief in destiny, any belief in luck, any belief in the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, any belief in any kind of limiting ideas, just set them aside and begin to have the courage. And you don't have to go home to your mom today and say, oh, Mom, I know I haven't had a job for 4 years, but I'm going to be a millionaire. Don't say that. Because it's not real for you either yet, right? So God doesn't listen to your words, God listens to your heart. So if you say, I am abundant, but in your heart of hearts you know you're not, or believe you're not, it thwarts the creative process. Because what happens if you put a carrot seed in the ground? So when you plant a carrot seed, first of all, I can tie this to the reading. Spirit is light, soul is dark. Right? Spirit, when the seed is planted, it's in the light of day, in the light of God, in the light of spirit, and it gets the carrot seed gets planted into the soil where something must happen. And it all happens, you can't see it happening, you're not really sure it's happening. What happens if you go dig it up? Thwarted. You thwarted the carrot, right? What happens, cooks, if you bake a cake, put it in the oven, or a souffle is a better example, cheesecake, and you're not sure it's cooking, so you keep opening the door. What happens? Thwarted. So when Jesus said, "It's done unto you as you believe," he meant believe. So I believe this carrot's going to grow. And if you just believe that and wait a minute, pretty soon it's going to break ground and voila. If you wait to open the door of the oven, pretty soon you open the door and you're going to have a beautiful cake. So Ernest Holmes says, next slide, man reenacts the divine man. So, see, there were only men on the earth in 1952. So we can say they reenact, right? Or them, they reenact. That would be more accurate in today's world, right? They reenact, I like that. Anyway, humans reenact the divine and makes use of the same laws that God uses. We find the same androgynous nature that we find in God. This nature is called the objective and subjective faculties. Objective is spirit, subjective is soul. Their objective mentality impregnates the subjective with ideas, and in turn, the subjective gathering force and energy projects these ideas into form. So, if nothing, it would really be wonderful for you to have an understanding of divine feminine and divine masculine. In my classwork, it took me a year to get on board with Ernest with masculine and feminine. It's like, really? Spirit's masculine? Really? But spirit spirit in this context, sorry, it's not there anymore. God is spirit, soul, and body. The body of God is all three. The body of you is all three. So there is a spirit in you that is willful, creative. There's a dark, creative space within you where the ideas that you plant in there begin to get clothed with flesh. And then you have results or manifestations in your life. The instruction book says, if you don't like the manifestations in your life, if you're not happy with what's showing up, then what needs to happen? You can complain, you can feel bad, you can commiserate, you can, be depressed. Nothing in nature gets depressed but human beings, by the way. Well, I shouldn't really say that. I think I did see a depressed dolphin once. But for the most part, human beings are the only creatures that can project negativity in quite the same way as we can. No one else really does it. And you've ever seen, here's what nature does. Imagine a crystal lake, perfectly still lake. That's kind of who we are naturally. Like, there's no roaring oceans inside it. It's this crystal lake. Imagine two beautiful swans floating across the lake. They meet each other and decide to have a kerfuffle. And then they just go away on the still lake. You and I don't do that. We take with us to bed, right? Or into the shower, or into the car, or into the next decade. So you want to lay down everything before this moment and understand really where you are and what's available to you. So you are the planter of seeds, you are the baker of the future of humanity. Do not for a moment think that who you are and what you do and what you say and how you behave doesn't matter, because every loving thought you have goes into the collective consciousness, goes into the Akashic record, which is the same word as the soul. It goes into memory. And I think it's a weighted game. So here's the game. Let's say the entire universe was 1,000 people. You have 600 people who are on the side of hate or playing rules by the ego's rules, and you have 400 people who are on the side of love and playing by the spirit's rules. Hate wins. Purely, it's a numbers game. The moment you have more people for love than for hate, we'll begin to see peace in the world. We'll be able to see the manifestation of that consciousness. So when you step into this space of love, you begin to add to that. The practical aspect of today, for me, is for you personally to see where your divine feminine and divine masculine are out of balance. And what that would look like in some. So the divine feminine is loving, patient, gentle, peaceful, confident. And the divine masculine is more doing than being, more taking action, more making happen. But we say here, what do we say? Treat and move your feet. Have you heard that before? Treat and move your feet. So if you're too passive or too quiet, you might need to bring forth more masculine energy in yourself if you're a woman or a man. But if it's easier, more simple, straightforward. So if you're a female person, you may need to bring forth more masculine decision-making, making happen energy, and less nurturing, caretaking energy. If you're a man who's too aggressive, and if you're a man who's too much out in the world making things happen, too much thinking of things, but you're not patient, you're rushing, you might need to develop your divine feminine more so that you can be at peace and at rest with your creations. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right, so, all right. I want to close with a beautiful, do I have another slide? Oh, yeah. I love this slide. You don't even know why you love it, but I'm going to tell you why you should love it, because so part of, there's something within us that wants to be liked, be well thought of, to fit in. I remember I read once, there was a very well-known spiritual teacher, I don't know who it was, it might have been, who's a really tall guy? Who's a really, really tall, Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins? I think it was Tony Robbins who was saying he went to do a seminar in Japan, right? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. And, you know, he's high energy and he's used a lot of energy and he's looking out there and everybody's just like, so finally he stopped and he said, okay, all right. He goes, okay, somebody tell me what's going on here. Tell me what's going on here. So a Japanese person raised their hand and he said, okay, what's going on? He goes, in our culture, it's not okay to rise up above anyone else. It's not okay to stand out. So there's this agreement that we'll all be here. Like everyone's going to be the same. Like nobody could be smarter, or nobody could be funnier, or nobody can be more aggressive or more motivational. I tell you this because this path requires that you come out from among them. It doesn't mean you're better than anyone else, doesn't mean you're going to go proselytize, doesn't mean any of that. It just means that you'll have to be willing to be happy. You're going to have to give yourself permission to have a good life, no matter who's suffering around you. Because it's in my experience, if you're in a long-term dynamic with other human beings, if you get too happy, it's going to piss someone off. You're laughing because it's true. If you get too positive, too sure of yourself, too something, not everyone in your life's going to like it. But just keep it to yourself. Lead by example. All right. So this is the end of our lesson. You now know how to bake a cake. I'm going to pray. All right. Truly, Ernest Holmes in 20 minutes. All right, so let's pray. So when we pray, we're also praying, we're not praying to this old idea of God. We're not begging and beseeching a reluctant deity to do anything for us, to fix anything for us. God's given us a pantry. We have the pantry already. Everything we need to architect a life we love, we already have. So when we pray, we're doing a very special form of treatment, form of prayer called affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment. That's a hard one for people, but where we are literally trying to align ourselves with truth. We're trying to align ourselves with the good that's already there. So join me as we turn within to that space. So we close our outer eyes in order to let that already manifested universe, people, places, conditions, circumstances, the past, to be where they are. Already created, already been manifested. And as we open our inner eyes, we gaze into that place and space and dimension within us that is a mirror image of divinity. It is a space and place within us that is holy, the space and place within us that makes the statement, wherever you stand, you're on holy ground, make sense. We are divine. You are divine. And so as we move into that heart space, the darkness, the darkness and the rich soil of our own soul, We come face to face with love. We come face to face with peace. We come face to face with peace that passes all human understanding. All of these God qualities have nothing to do with the outer world. Peace, joy, health, abundance, patience, vitality, wisdom, everything's within us. And so we remember in this moment that there's only one power, one presence, one life, that we are like leaves on God's tree, not separate, not apart from. There's only one thing, and we are it, individualized expressions of God. And so it is from that space and in full recognition that there is that we live in the kitchen of life where we can cook. We live in a lawful universe that says yes to us, that supports us, that makes manifest the deepest desires of our heart. And so the word that I speak for and about you, whether you're in this room or within the sound of my voice, is that we move into a space of fully accepting and embracing both the masculine and the feminine energies within us. We embrace that part of us that has ideas and plans and dreams. We embrace that part of us that allows for those ideas, visions, and dreams and plans to manifest themselves. That I remove through my word anything within you that would block, obstruct, hinder, or delay your good. Because anything that would block or hinder or delay your good is not of God. So we just simply let it be as we stand firmly with assurance, courage, strength, commitment, dedication to the truth that sets us free, that we are eternal, birthless, deathless beings with the capacity to create anything. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we can change our mind. I'm grateful that there is an instruction book. I'm grateful that it's knowable. And I'm grateful every day in every way that we can come together in spiritual community to find a tribe of people who are for something and against nothing, for love, for peace. For I know that maybe not today and maybe not tomorrow, but because we do, someday. And so I just joyfully release this word into the fertile soil of the universe, patiently awaiting its manifestation, going about the business of my life with joy, expectancy, acceptance, and peace, knowing all is well with our souls. So for this and so much more, I am grateful. We let this be, and so it is. Amen. Namaste. Thank you so much. Don't let anyone walk through your mind with dirty feet. That means deflect the negativity. All right, so I think I'm gonna do the offering. So this community belongs to you. It exists because you say so. It is the place where you can, the alarm's going off. It is the place where you can become more and more and more yourself. So this is a time where you can consciously plant seeds of abundance for the community and for yourself. It's all a process of giving and receiving. So thank you in advance for your generosity. And we have words here. You can text a tithe, 239-320-3820. You can send your contribution through PayPal at capecoral.org. Donate on the website as well at cslcapecoral.org. So, or you can mail your check. This is actually very good. I have to tell you, this is very good. I had a stroke in 2020 that affected my vision. This is my first talk since then. I wasn't sure I could read these. So yay! I made it, the notes and the thing. So anyway, you can mail a check to Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral, 406 Southeast 24th Avenue, Cape Coral, Florida, 33990. And together we'll, please, sorry. We have an offering affirmation. Please repeat with me. Today, the activity of divine abundance is at work in my life and the life of this center. I give and receive generously as I live in the flow of bountiful good. Peace and blessings. Thank you.
Standing as one in the presence of the power, standing where others have stood. Gladly we offer the gifts of our abundance, knowing the source of our good. Standing as one in the presence of the power, standing where others have stood. Gladly we offer the gifts of our abundance, knowing the source of our good.
So thank you, Reverend Chris, for the opportunity to serve your community. Speak a blessing upon this offering, absolutely amplifying the good that has been expressed here today, the good that has been given here today, knowing that these gifts of the heart and gifts of the pocketbook go forward to raise and praise this community in any way that serves the greater purpose. And so in gratitude, we let this blessing be, and so it is. Amen. So it is. All right.
There we go. You can check your email for a flyer, or there's Get a Flyer in the lobby. And somebody mentioned to me some time ago about taking a picture of one of the flyers and taking it home with you and get the information that way. Or you could visit our website too. And we're pleased to announce that there are opportunities for you to be of service to our youth. We have a blossoming youth program here at the Center for Spiritual Living, and if you'd like to be a part of that, we certainly would appreciate your presence. So you can see myself at B-Door, or someone else in the officialdom, and they will let you know what's going on. Our very own Patty Carney is a Reiki master and a teacher for distance Reiki session on Zoom. That's coming up. The next session is going to be June 6th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And you can visit our calendar on our website, cslcapecoral.org, to register. And it's offered on a love offering basis. And a huge thank you to all those participating in. We're going to call D, B, or up and let her tell us more about how things went last night.
Well, I think everybody that was there last night could agree that we had a great time. And I just wanted to give a special thanks to the people that volunteered to help out, to set up. Patrick and Stephen came Thursday night. I thought they were only going to set up the bar. They set everything up in here in the sanctuary. So thank you so much, because that really eliminated a lot of work for us on Friday. So thank you again. The Big Love Band, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. Phyllis and, of course, Linda in the kitchen, like all night long. I never even, hardly even saw them. So, and everyone else that participated. If I missed you, you know, thank you.
Thank you for that reminder. Yeah, all righty. Our next Beautification Day is coming up on May 20th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, and just a few hours there, and you can help out and make the place look really great. Phyllis does so much of that good work. From Whence We Came, A History of New Thought, a 10-week course is beginning on Wednesday, the 7th of June. Via Zoom, that's going to be, so you don't have to leave your home to participate, 7 to 9:30 p.m., and facilitated by Chris Lahav. I seem to know that name somewhere. Reverend Chris, our own Reverend Chris, is going to be facilitating that, and there is a $195 investment there, includes a certificate for that course, too. CPR class coming up. That's something I've never participated in, have to, huh? Includes adults, child, and infant CPR with Melinda Latham, and she is the instructor, and that's going to be on June 10th, 1 to 3 in the afternoon. Well, lots of different things happening here at the center. And of course, too, our practitioners will be up front here for a 1-minute miracle, as we like to call it, or a little short prayer. If you have something that you would like improved in your life, or like something that is blessed, that's going really well, you can do that too. So let us know, and we just want to say thank you for coming, for being here. Chris has something to say first.
Just one real quick thing for anybody that maybe hasn't checked their email. Anybody that was here last week and participated in the shadow workshop, there was a couple of people that expressed a desire to kind of work through it, process it, talk about it. We're going to do that today because it was the only Sunday in the immediate future that worked. So if you were here at the workshop last week and you'd like to stick around and talk about it a little bit, we're going to do that at noon here today. And then also on Zoom for anybody that is not here. The link went out earlier this week. Just let us know if you didn't get it. So, thanks, John.
Cool. Good, good, good. And now we'll say thank you for being here today. The power of love is the strongest force in the universe. True, true, true. Let's hear about that.
Power of love is a curious thing. Makes one so weak, makes another one sing.
Woo!